don't know. Again, I don't understand what's going on with my feed here, but we gonna work this out, right? All right, we gonna get this together. Yeah. Be right with y'all in 1 second. But anyway, you know who it is. It's your boy, SportsRap CEO, and I'm ready to get here with y'all. I don't know, like I said, I don't know why this is not working for me. What is the problem here, people? So anyway, for my live people on Instagram and on TikTok, y'all know what it is. It's your boy, SportsRap CEO. And listen, I'm having a little bit of technical difficulties here, right? But we are going to work this out. And I think we are in now. Right? We're in. All right. I can hear myself now. This is what's going on. So we are back. I'm here. And I know you can hear me now because I'm listening in. So here we go again. Let's start this all over again. One more time. It is your boy, SportsRap CEO, live once again. Instagram and TikTok. Y'all know what the handle is over there at SportsRap CEO. Y'all can get to that and tune in. You can hear my voice and see my face. If you can't see my face, if you are unavailable to get on some video, some live, just check real quick in my bio. There's a new stream in there. It's a link in there. Hit that link and you can hear my voice. And I'm telling you now, today it's working today. I can hear my voice. I'm sitting next to my laptop. But last week I had some technical difficulties, but I'm good today. So again, hit that new link, streaming link for radio.co. You click the link in the bio to take you right to the feed and you'll be tuned in. So today, folks, I wanted to bring some stuff to y'all today. As we know, NBA draft and NBA is a little bit of the talk right now. So the NBA draft is tomorrow and Wednesday. All right, first round tomorrow, second round is Wednesday, beginning at 8 p.m. I think it's on ESPN. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the draft and talk about some Sixer stuff, some mock drafts, and some other things there, and some other basketball stuff. So I got a little bit more basketball stuff to get to because this is where we are looking into tomorrow. I'm also going to talk a little bit of Eagle stuff since we will be hitting in July soon. Training camp will be starting officially very soon. So I'm looking forward to that. And we also know I'm not going to talk a lot about it today because you've been seeing it, but I'm supporting. I'm wearing my Phillies hat. Phillies have been playing some great ball lately. So I am happy about that. But before we get into it, I hope all the fathers out there enjoyed their day yesterday. I didn't do a lot. I relaxed around the house for the most part. Had a nice steak dinner though. So I did. I had a good Father's Day. Like I said, it wasn't nothing special for me. For me, it's just another day. But I did, like I normally do, I just take my time and relax and try not to do much of anything on that day. Like I just want to be chill and on pace to do whatever I decide to do. If I decide to do something, if not, I'll just be home chilling. All right, so let's get into this, man. Like I said, we got NFL training camps will be beginning soon, right? Because we are at June 22nd, like I said. So we'll be getting to the end of June real quickly, right? And the training camp will be starting shortly after that. So I got some stuff that I saw and I wanted to bring to the table. Some Eagle stuff, right? So, of course, they always do power rankings and team rankings and player rankings and all that good stuff, right? So I looked at this and I saw some player rankings, and I just did the offense this time, right? I didn't do the defense because the defense, trying to find the one for the defense that was as good as the list for offense, excuse me, was a little difficult. I don't know what the NFL is doing about that, but anyway, at quarterback, all right, in the power rankings, quote QB1, R1 Jalen Hurts is ranked at number 8. All right. After being at 2 Super Bowls and a one-time Super Bowl MVP. All right. So I'm gonna tell you who they have in front of them. These are the 7 quarterbacks that are ranked above Jalen Hurts. And this bothers me a lot all the time. All right. They got Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Matthew Stafford, Pat Mahomes, Joe Burrow, Drake May, and Justin Herbert. All right. So let's run through this. All right. Let's run through this list. Like I said, Jalen Hurts having ranked at number 8. All right. Been to the Super Bowl twice. 1-1 in the Super Bowl. Right. And he's a Super Bowl MVP. Right. Now, quarterbacks above him. Let's go to the top of the list. Josh Allen. We all know he's the best thing during the regular season. Nobody can touch him. Hasn't been to the Super Bowl yet. Lamar Jackson had some rough years the last couple of years. But again, has not been to a Super Bowl. Matthew Stafford. He got one with the Rams, I believe. Pat Mahomes. We all know how Pat Mahomes is. Pat Mahomes was like next in line and fell right in line right after Tom Brady. Joe Burrow. He's been to 1 Super Bowl, did not win. Drake May just went to the Super Bowl, did not win. Justin Herbert has not been to the Super Bowl, and honestly, I don't even think Justin Herbert has won a playoff game yet. I said think, so I'm not 100% sure. So again, stay in there, right? And for most of these quarterbacks, right, just taking the AFC, and these are the quarterbacks that are supposed to be the best, right, the top flight quarterbacks in the AFC. Against Pat Mahomes, Jalen Hurts is 3-2. Against Josh Allen, he's 1-0. 1-0 against Goff, and 4-0 against Stafford. He's beaten Lamar Jackson as well. So, where does all of this come from? I honestly can't really say, but I can say that I still believe that Jalen Hurts does not get enough credit for the things that he does. And it's just crazy because, like we said, this is a new offensive coordinator once again. So, like, every year that he's been the starter, he's had a new offensive coordinator every year. Like, and people are like, and this is like going back to college, right? And people just don't seem to, like, make light of the situation. Like that shit is just easy to learn, especially at the NFL level. It's not. And he's been successful. Like, even last year, when we know how bad last year looked, they still made the playoffs. The other year, when the bottom fell out again, they still made the playoffs. Right? They still made the playoffs. So whose play was that? And then we got the A.J. Brown talk and this and that and the third. And I get it. It's what me's going to sell. It's what's going to get people coming back to TV shows and web pages and media and all that other good stuff, right? But when you think about it all in the grand scheme of things, right? A.J. Brown had the best years of his career so far in his career here in Philadelphia. Had the 1,400-yard season, another, I think, 12 or 1,300 yard. But he was a 1,000-yard season just about every year he was here except for the first year. Right? But who was his quarterback? He can't throw the ball to himself. Let me get my English right. He can't throw the ball to himself. It makes, and everything that's going on and what AJ is saying and what people have been breaking things up and bringing things. Some of the stuff is old because people are still talking about Hassan Reddick and this and that and the third. But this is my thing. With everything that he's saying, right? And when you put it all in a nutshell, he's kind of subtly bashing Jalen Hurts, right? Okay. Jalen Hurts got you a Super Bowl, right? You also have to take into consideration that yes, you are a great wide receiver. More than likely a Hall of Famer, right? More than likely a Hall of Famer. But when you play on a team that has the amount of talent that the Eagles had, you have to expect the ball to get moved around. It only benefits the entire team when the ball gets spread around. You can't win a Super Bowl by yourself. Okay? And it also helps because we saw what happened last year. We saw how people picked up on the remedial offense that was being run, and then certain teams began to double team AJ, right? So when guys are double covered, and this is why I say he's being like, in my opinion, somewhat petty about it. When you get double covered, the windows are smaller if they're there. And then you had moments in that playoff game where it looked like you was bullshitting. Excuse my language, y'all. I'm talking about AJ Brown. Where it looked like you was bullshitting. Now, don't get me wrong. I like AJ Brown as a player. But I also sitting here in front of you when I talk to y'all, I like to call a spade a spade. And I said it looked like he was bullshitting. Couple passes hitting right in the hands. Typically, he catches those. These certain particular ones in that game, he did not catch. All right? So that's enough for that right now. Like I said, that's just my thoughts on what I've been thinking, right? On how I thought about the situation. Coach Rich, thanks for jumping in. All right. Running back, Saquon Barkley is number 6. All right. The ones that are in front of him, Bijan Robinson, Christian McCaffrey, Derrick Henry, Jamar Gibbs, and James Cook. Nobody out of them have ever been to the Super Bowl yet. Wide receiver, now Smitty will be the number 1. He's ranked 17th in the list. Now, he's in some good company here. All right. This is his year to show and prove out. Right. Got the tight end. Dallas Goedert is ranked number 12. For our tackles, Mailata at number 5 and Lane Johnson at number 7. I think Lane Johnson fell because of the injuries and the time that he spent away from the team and off of the field. Guard, Tyler Steen is 20. And center, Cam Jurgens is ranked number 12. All right? Those are your rankings. And like I said, I don't like them all. But it is what it is. And I mean, I like the fact also that everything that I've been hearing coming out of the OTAs and the news around the Eagles is that everyone in that locker room and in that building is beginning to become fond of the offense. Again, like I said last week, I even heard Jordan Davis say real quickly in an interview, like he loves it on the defensive end and how they've changed and what they're doing on offense as well, because now they can defend and they're doing what teams were doing to them. Doesn't get any smarter or better than that, right? Fixing things that you needed to fix. All right. So moving on with this Eagles thing. Right? We talked about that, and again, we know the situation with Jalen Carter. We know he wants to be re-signed, but the Eagles are being very cautious about that, right? I think it will happen. It may take a little bit, but I think it will happen because the Eagles know his value. He knows his value, of course, first and foremost. But I'm pretty sure, I'm sure the Eagles know his value. And Howie is the master of getting things like this done. So I think Howie will be fine. I think the team will be fine. And I think by the start of the season, I think Jalen will be in midnight green and on the field. So going through this, right? We know training camp is coming up. And these are just what roster projections. All right. And I color coded them like they did when they give it to you. So what I'm going to do is when I go through each position, I'm going to give you the locks, the bubbles, and then the people that are probably a very long shot for making this team this year. Okay. So at the quarterback, I only have one lock, right? And that's QB1. All right. Everybody else is on the bubble, allegedly. Tanner McKee, Andy Dalton, and the quickly they drafted the guy Peyton. I don't remember his first name. Right. So no real long shots there. Everybody's on the bubble. On the running back position, the two locks, Barkley and Bigsby. Shipley is on the bubble, which I like Will Shipley. And then you have Pierce and Steele at fullback, who are long shots. All right, the Eagles don't typically play a lot of offense with a fullback. So, yeah. The wide receivers, Smitty, Mekhi Lemon, the new rookie, Dontavian Wicks, and Hollywood Brown are locks. On the bubble, Cooper, Moore, and Wilson. And long shots, again, Britton Covey, Watkins, Gray, and Toure. All right. Don't forget, Britton Covey may also get a chance to end up on the practice squad because he does do other things. He does play special teams, so he might end up on the practice squad. At tight end, Dallas Goedert, Eli Stowers, and I forget his name, I think it's John Munt, are the locks. Calcaterra is now on the bubble. Lotto was on the bubble, and Smart is also on the bubble. Jenkins and Wright are possible, more than likely, long shots. Okay. Offensive guard and center. You got Cam Jurgens, Landon Dickerson, Tyler Steed. Forget his first name, but his last name is Kendall. Morris and Jordan and Majors are bubbles. Lumpkin and Roberts are long shots. At the offensive tackle, you have Lane Johnson, Jordan Mailata, Markel Bell, and Fred Johnson. Locks. On the bubble, Hinton and Williams, and long shots, Pierce and Ojukwu. All right, moving on to the defense. My side of the ball, I like the defense. Now, don't get me wrong, I like the offense, but I like the defense because I like the way they fly around. And I played defense when I played football. So, defensive tackle. All right, we have it here. Carter, Davis, Ojomo, and Bernard are locks. Robinson, Young, Hall, and Z. Wilson are bubbles, and T. Graham is a long shot. On the defensive end, Jonathan Grenard, Jalix Hunt, Nolan Smith, Ebiketie are locks. James Newby, Epinesa, the linebacker they just got from Buffalo, is on the bubble. Tryon is also on the bubble. Werrell and Ramirez are long shots. Linebacker, Zach Bond, Jahad Campbell, Jeremiah Trotter, and Mondon, all locks. Campbell and Lawson are long shots. At the cornerback, the two starting corners, Mitchell and Reek Woolen. Jones there as the third cornerback are locks. Kelly Ringo, Bennett are on the bubble. Castrofield and Thomas are long shots. The nickelback, cool. Another thing AJ didn't like that the fans had cool. Well, your name is AJ, and then you say always open. They can't say AO. Like, yeah. Cooper's the lock. McWilliams and Goshigan are on the bubble. At safety, Makuba right now, hopefully he'll be good and healthy coming back from injury, which I thought he was going to be pretty good, is a lock. Then you got Epps and Carter here, right? Epps and Carter are on the bubble along with Gray and Wisniewski. Then you got B. Johnson, Sam, and Pulley. On the special teams, Jake Elliott and Braden Mann are locks, and then Underwood is on the bubble. So that's that, and that's that. That is your Eagle stuff, folks. Right? So, we are about to move into some Sixers talk, right? And I know it is going to be a little up and down for you. I know Sixers fans right now are extremely, extremely opinionated right now. There's a lot that needs to go on with the Philadelphia 76ers this summer. They've already started some of it. They brought in a new president of basketball operations who I think knows the job. I think would not be as coy, if you will, as Daryl Morey. I like the fact that they did hire Jameer Nelson as well, another local good basketball player, good career, to get along and handle along with everything that we got going on. And the way that we do that is we have an NBA draft. So I'm going to go through this first draft from draft.net. These are like my go-to guys. They always come up with good pre-drafts or mock drafts. And a lot more times than not, their mock drafts usually end up being either exact or extremely close to what happens in the draft. So again, like I said, the NBA draft is tomorrow night, starts tomorrow night at 8 p.m. And then the second round is Wednesday. All right, same time, 8 p.m. So we have Washington Wizards. They project them to draft AJ Dabunster. All right, he's expected to be the number one pick. So whoever had the number one pick, his name would have been there anyway. Right, that's not a big deal. At number 2, the Utah Jazz. They say Cameron Boozer, the forward from Duke. Memphis, Darren Peterson, 6'5" guard from Kansas. Chicago at 4, Caleb Wilson from UNC. Power forward center from UNC. The Clippers, Keaton Wagler, point guard, shooting guard from Illinois. Number 6, Brooklyn, Darius Acuff, guard from Arkansas. Right. Number 7, Sacramento, Michael Brown, point guard from Louisville. Number 7, Sacramento. I just gave you that one. 7. Number 8, Atlanta Hawks, Braden Burries. It's a heck of a name for a basketball player. Braden Burries. You know, I could just hear that now. Burries another 3. Anyway, with us. All right, they're point guard from Arizona. At number 9, Dallas Mavericks, Kingston Flemings. At number 10, Nate Ament from Tennessee. Let's see here. 11, Golden State, Kareem Lopez from Mexico. Oklahoma City next at Hans Steinbach from Washington. Miami takes Morris Johnson, who people early in the game thought the Sixers would be trying to take at number 22, but I don't think he's going to last till 22. Number 14, Ade Mara, 7'4" center from Michigan. Chicago again, their second pick in the first round, LeBaron Philon, point guard from Alabama. Memphis with their second pick in the first round, Yaxel Lindenberg, power forward from Michigan. Oklahoma City, another pick in the first round, Cameron Carr, guard from Baylor. Charlotte, also with their second pick, Isaiah Evans, a guard from Duke. Toronto, Christian Anderson, point guard from Texas Tech. Number 20 for the Spurs, Allen Graves, power forward from Santa Clara. Number 21, Detroit, Bennett Sturts, shooter from Iowa. And the Sixers at number 22, Chris Sinak. I've seen this name or not. The power forward center out of Houston. At 23, Atlanta again. Dalen Swain, the guard, small forward from Texas. New York at 24, take Malik Thomas, point guard out of Arkansas. The Lakers take Baba Miller, power forward out of Cincy. Denver takes Henry Visar, center out of North Carolina. Boston, Sergio De La Rea, point guard from Spain. Minnesota, Jaden Quaintance, power forward from Kentucky. Cleveland, Rebecca Okori, point guard from Stanford. And then they have Dallas with their second pick, taking Koa Pete from Arizona. All right, so I'm not going to give you the second round, but I do want to give you this. That last name I just gave you, Koa Pete. Right? Koa Pete. Remember that name. There are rumors alleging that he and his people are somehow, some way, trying to maneuver away. He is very interested in playing for the Philadelphia 76ers. I think that would be an amazing pick for the Philadelphia 76ers. 6'8", 245 power forward. He has the size. He has the tools. Now, I think what that would mean for some of the people on the roster, I think if they don't move him, that will push Janai Broom down to the G League. But I don't know. So, Sixers had some draft workouts, right? And look, the first name on their draft workout, Koa Pete, Dalen Swain, Chris Sinak Jr., Allen Graves, Isaiah Evans, and Zuby Ejiofor. Right now, the Sixers' top prospects. These are the people. This is what people are saying are the top prospects for Philadelphia 76ers. Again, at the top of the list, Koa Pete, Dalen Swain, Chris Sinak Jr., Joshua Jefferson, and Isaiah Evans. So again, Sixers are kind of like right in line, and people are right in line with what they feel is right for the Sixers. Okay. Looking at everything else here, let me see, where am I at? The Sixers also, let me get my stuff together. They also have a lot of free agency to deal with. Well, not a lot, but they have some decisions to make in free agency. And that's in reference in regards to Mr. Kelly Oubre and Quentin Grimes. So I've seen some stuff. I've seen some reports that people are saying, oh, you bring back both of them however you can. It's going to be tough to bring back both. And again, I think Quentin Grimes is going to put himself in that market where his demands are going to be too high for his value in reality. So I don't think he'll get, just like he ended up coming back to the Sixers, because what he wanted in free agency the end of last season, well, the end of the season that just passed, before that, he didn't get what he was looking for, and he ended up coming and signing with us on a 1-year deal. And he got a little shaky down the end. So, like, taking that as like a good faith or betting on yourself, you might want to roll the dice again. All right, but again, I don't think he's going to get what he'll probably be looking for again this offseason. So, we are going to see what happens, right? I think Kelly Oubre was the more consistent as far as between the two in productivity for us, even though Kelly Oubre did get hurt again. But when he was able to play, I think he was the more consistent as far as productivity between the two of them. All right, so everything that you probably missed in the last 24 hours in the NBA. We're going to run through this real quick, and we're going to get into some free agency stuff. All right. So, LeBron's realistic options are right now allegedly the Cavs, the Lakers, and the Warriors. All right. The Celtics and the T-Wolves could discuss a Derek White, Rudy Gobert trade. There's also been talk and rumors chatter around the Boston Celtics and possibly moving Jaylen Brown. Also, possibilities of their interest in Giannis. I also heard Giannis wants to go to Miami. And I hear that the Bucks are interested in Tyler Hero. But I think with the contract he has, I think it's going to have to be a multi-team deal. So keep my ear to the street and we'll see what happens. All right. The Blazers have serious interest in Jaylen Brown if he becomes available. The Bucks, like I just said, have interest in Tyler Hero amid Giannis trade talks. The Grizzlies believe Ja Morant could be the team's plan B if Giannis stays with the Bucks. So, sticking there with that, right? We all know what happened with Ja Morant. We all know how things went. J-Matt, JMC, all right, go Phillies. Thank you, brother. Just got the #1 viewer badge. I appreciate that. Congratulations to you. So, talking about this here, the Grizzlies believe Ja Morant could become the team's plan B if Giannis stays with the Bucks. So basically what that tells me is that they are looking to part ways with Ja Morant. And if they can, they will. If they can't, he'll be the plan B. I honestly don't know how a trade would work because of his activity off the court. I don't think there are going to be too many teams who want to deal with that extra stuff going into, I don't think it's in too many teams that would want to deal with that going in and trying to figure out what his situation is and whether he's going to be able to play and how he's going to play and what's going to happen with him off the court. So that would be tough. A lot of people also think that the Bucks asking price for Giannis is unrealistic. And then KD says he learned about a Warriors trade behind his back. And lastly, per Shams, allegedly, and reports are that Trae Young intends to sign a 4-year, approximate $212 million deal to stay with the Wizards. Stay with the Wizards. Yeah. So, I mean, we'll see what that was. I mean, again, you're going to take the money. You take the money. The Wizards are not in any position to be any type of contenders or anything of that nature right now. So you might want to nix that a little bit. I also had something, and I need to find it. I'm going to find it so I can give it to you. I had a tier of contenders for the NFL, and now I cannot find that paper. I can't find it right now. I'm looking for it. But anyway, there was a list that I had with different tiers. Excuse me, y'all. I'm just fumbling everything. Different tiers, playoff contenders and other players and this and that for the NFL stuff. So let me try and find that. Right, I can't see where it is. Don't know where it is. Anyway, but I'll find it, and when I find it, I'll bring it to you guys. If not today, I'll definitely bring it next week. So just somebody just remind me or hit me in a message and DM me and remind me to bring that part with me next week. But anyway, getting back to some NBA and getting into the free agency stuff, right? Again, I don't understand how I did that. Really do not understand how I mix things up, and I don't have that page right here with me. But anyway, like I said, moving along, we're going to talk some NBA free agency, right? And we're going to go through the list of the top 20 free agents at each position. And then again, like with positionless basketball, we're just going to go guards, forwards, and centers, right? Now, I know the Eagles were in the playoff contender tier, right? I don't believe this is crazy. This is crazy. Hold on. Yeah, this is crazy how I can't find it. But anyway, like I said, top 20 at each position. All right. Going through the guards, top of the list, James Harden with a player option. Austin Reeves with a player option. Fred VanVleet, also player option. Trae Young, I just told you about that, player option. Norman Powell is unrestricted. Ben Mathurin is restricted. Colin Gillespie is unrestricted. Quentin Grimes unrestricted. Kevin Porter Jr. player option. Kobe White unrestricted. Landry Shamet unrestricted. Colin Sexton unrestricted. C.J. McCollum unrestricted. Luke Kennard unrestricted. Dosumo, Ayo Dosumo unrestricted. Jose Alvarado player option. Tim Hardaway Jr. unrestricted. Marcus Smart player option. DeAnthony Melton player option. And Anthony Simons unrestricted. In the forwards, LeBron James unrestricted. Tobias Harris unrestricted. Peyton Watson restricted. Andrew Wiggins player option. John Collins unrestricted. Draymond Green player option. Lou Dort team option. Harrison Barnes unrestricted. Mamu Toronto Raptors player option. Tyree Eason restricted. Dean Wade unrestricted. Jonathan Kuminga team option. Rui Hachimura is unrestricted. Kelly Oubre again unrestricted. Chris Middleton unrestricted. Fontecchio, I don't know his first name. Fontecchio was unrestricted. Jalen Williams, the light-skinned Jalen Williams from Toronto, from OKC, is a team option. Ousmane Deng from the Bucks is unrestricted. Nico Batum, team option. And Jeremy Sochan, unrestricted. Centers, Jalen Duren, restricted. Tyler Hartenstein, I think it is. Yeah, Tyler Hartenstein, team option. Jake Kessler, restricted. Porzingis, unrestricted. Keta of the Celtics, team option. Vucevic, also of the Celtics, is unrestricted. Mitchell Robinson, unrestricted. DeAndre Ayton, player option. Brook Lopez, team option. Mark Williams, restricted. Al Horford, player option. Yusuf Nurkic, unrestricted. Robert Williams III, unrestricted. Moritz Wagner, unrestricted. Day'Ron Sharpe, team option. Marvin Bagley III, unrestricted. Nick Richards, unrestricted. Dominic Barlow, a team option. Jake Landale, unrestricted. And Jackson Hayes is unrestricted. So, also, with the Knicks bringing a championship to the city of New York after 73 years, and I told y'all I had some fun with that last week. Did some things, did some research. I also found now the longest remaining titleist drops in the NBA. The Wizards, at 48 years, they last won a title in 1978 as the Washington Bullets. The Blazers at 49 years, the Nets 50 years, the Pacers 50 years. If you don't hear me say they won, which means this means they've never won. The Jazz 52 years, Clippers 56, Suns 58, the Atlanta Hawks a 68 year. They won it in 58 in St. Louis, and then the Kings 75 years. They won the title in 1951 as the Rochester Royals. Right. So, that being said, we know how much we love our Sixers, right? So, I got some fun for us. Before I get to some other stuff, I got some fun for us. I think I need this stuff. Where are all my sheets at, man? Like, I'm just really going through it today. I don't know what's going on with me today, but I moved stuff that I thought I needed, probably balled up some stuff that I needed, and I'm going through some stuff. Yep, here it is right here. I found the stuff I needed. I'm going to go through it. I'm going to get back to the football thing with the team contender rankings in a second before I close out. But getting to the NBA stuff, like I said, the free agency, talking some more Sixers off-season plan. Right? So here we go with the draft. And this is just one scenario that I found that was a little interesting. Right? It says they draft projection with the 22nd pick. They pick Dalen Swain, all right, forward from Texas. All right, then they have a mock trade with the Grizzlies. The Sixers would get Scottie Pippen Jr. The Grizzlies would get a 28, the Warriors' second-round pick in 28, and then the Sixers' own second-round pick in 29. Free agency. This is one of the ones where they say they would bring back Grimes and Oubre. So we got Grimes, Oubre. Well, these are the free agents. Grimes, Oubre, Drummond, Barlow, Wofford, and Terry. All right. Said they would not re-sign Grimes, Drummond, or Daylon Terry. Their signings in free agency. They're saying Kelly Oubre, 2 years, $16.5 million. Javonte Green, 2 years at vet's minimum. Aaron Holiday, 1 year at the vet minimum. Nick Richards, 2 years, 16, and Tim Hardaway Jr., 2 years, 14. The depth chart would look something like this. Maxey, Edgecombe, Paul George, Barlow, and Embiid would be your starters. Your bench, Scottie Pippen Jr., Tim Hardaway Jr., Kelly Oubre, Dylan Swain, and Nick Richards. And then your reserves or your bench, Aaron Holiday, Javonte Green, Justin Edwards, Trendon Wofford, and Adem Bowman. All right. What some notes and some questions about what the Sixers could do in the draft, all right? Say bring back the majority of the core while adding some much needed depth at key positions. All right? You saw that in that little off-season mock plan. Said, do they entertain an MB trade market, or is he here retiring as a Sixer? I don't think they have any intention of trading him now. Again, like I said, it would be very difficult because of the contract and the injury history. And then run it back with some more depth and a more well-rounded roster. I think that's what they are looking forward to doing. All right, bringing it back with a more well-rounded roster and most of the core. All right, the Sixers mock draft. Yahoo Sports Bleacher Report and Sports Illustrated are projecting Chris Sinak Jr. and then SB Nation is projecting David Swing. All right. That there, folks, has been fun. Right. So, as I went through this stuff, right, I felt like basketball. Y'all know basketball is very dear to me. That's my number one sport. Favorite: basketball, football, baseball, and then hockey. I'm very, very light on hockey, but basketball, football, baseball. Right. So I found some things that I thought were a little interesting. Some things about Philly basketball and some things just in basketball in general. So one of the things I found is a NBA greatness pyramid. NBA greatness pyramid. This is not my picks. These are some stuff that I did some research and I came across. All right. So at the top of this pyramid, you've got MJ and Kobe. Next tier, Kareem, Magic, Bird, Russell, and LeBron. Next, Tim Duncan, Steph, Shaq, Dream, Wilt, KD, and Joker. Keep going. Moses, Jerry West, Oscar Robertson, Dr. J, Kevin Garnett, Dirk, and Scottie Pippen Sr. Final tier, Isaiah Thomas, Detroit Pistons Isaiah Thomas, Barkley, the Mailman, David Robinson, AI, Steve Nash, and CP3. I think I still have that picture. I just wrote it down so I would have it in my notes. If I find the picture again, I'll post that again. All right. If not, I'll put it in there the way it's typed up. I'll put it in a post, and you can all give me some feedback on it. Are there some players that you might think you want to add? You want to move some people around. I'm sure some people will definitely move some people around. So have some fun with that. Like I said, if I find the picture again, I'll post the picture. If not, I'll post the names and you tell me how you feel about what you feel about. So before I close out, I'm going to close out with something a little special. Something that's dear to my heart. Some Philly stuff, right? You see Philly sports talk in the background. You know I'm from Philly. So these are my NFL contender tiers. All right. This is what allegedly NFL bigwigs are saying. Front runners are Rams, Seahawks, and the Broncos. Title contenders: Patriots, Bills, Ravens, Eagles. Playoff locks: Bengals, Texans, Bears, and the Jags. Teams that they consider to be dangerous: the Chiefs, Packers, the Lions, and 49ers. I don't know how the Lions are going to fit in there because the Lions did the same thing the last 2 years. Killed it in the regular season, got to the playoffs, and then did a major choke job. Playoff contenders: Chargers, Cowboys, Bucks, Falcons, Panthers, and the Vikings. Teams that will definitely need some help: Steelers, Colts, Giants, and the Commanders. Playoff fringe teams: Saints and the Titans. And these teams will be at the top of the draft: Raiders, Jets, Dolphins, Browns, and Cardinals. Right? So those are the tiers. Right? And that's that. Now, I gave you an NBA greatness pyramid. Right? So to close out, I'm going to do some Philly stuff. I'm going to rep Philly real quickly. I'm rep Philly. And again, once this video goes up, y'all can give me comments about it. So let's get to it. All right. I gave y'all that. So I've been seeing a lot of stuff with all these different Mount Rushmores for all types of different things. A plethora of things in Mount Rushmore. So I came across one that had Mount Rushmore of Philly basketball. These are the names that are on the list. And you know the Mount Rushmore is only 4 names. There's only 4 bodies, 4 heads on the Mount Rushmore. So these are the 4 that were voted or alleged to be on Philly's Mount Rushmore, Philly basketball Mount Rushmore. Rasheed Wallace, Kyle Lowry, Wilt Chamberlain, and Kobe Bryant. Now, I know there are going to be some people that are going to say Kobe Bryant is not Philly. He's from Lower Merion. He's outside of Philly. Right. I get it. But this is what we have. All right. Moving along and making it a little interesting and fun. And I'm going to post it. I think I'm going to post this one too. So they came up with a street ball edition. Right. But they only gave 3 names. They gave Ayo, Hot Rod, and Sad Eye. So anybody in Philly, 3 names on this Mount Rushmore, Philly Street Ball Edition. Aaron Owens, Ayo, Hot Rod, Sad Eye. Who was missing? I'm going to post this. Probably going to try and post this like as soon as I get done today. Probably as I'm editing stuff, I'm try and post that. See what kind of feedback I get from that. I'm sure I know some basketball people. I think that'll pique their interest, and I'm just interested to see who would they put on that 4th head or on that Philly Mount Rushmore Street Ball Edition. The next thing that I found, unwritten rules of Philly basketball. If anybody in Philly that played basketball knows these are unwritten rules, but this is how we are in Philly. This is how we get down on the basketball court. All right. Your respect is earned. Defense wins. Toughness over flash. Next man up. And heart matters the most. Give you that again. Respect is earned. Defense wins. Toughness over flash. Next man up. And heart matters the most. All right. Some of the things that people say the Sixers will probably need, or what the Sixers do need, and what they should look for in this draft and building another roster. An athletic power forward, a dynamic third guard, definitely some shooting and bench depth. It's definitely what they need. So I hope everybody enjoyed your time with me today. It is a bit of a little dreary, cloudy Sunday. I think we are in a thunderstorm watch. So take your time getting home if you are on your way home, or when you leave off work to go home, you just get ready to get off. I don't think it's raining anymore, but it is extremely cloudy. So take your time, be safe, be careful getting home. And again, as always, be great on purpose. All right. I will see you all week in traffic on social media, right back here next Monday live. Right. And you know where you can find me. Everybody knows where to find me, right? At SportsRap CEO on Threads, TikTok, and Instagram. Don't forget to head over to that YouTube channel. All right. And you know 3 things you need to do when you get to that YouTube channel. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the thumbs up on the videos that you like. And then hit the bell so you'll know when new content is alerted. Also, make sure you get to my social media. Get into my bio. Get the new streaming link. All right. You can get my voice every Monday. Right. And make sure you check in for all the DJ mixes that are playing 24/7 on Heat 100 Radio on via radio.co. So again, like I said, make sure you get into my bio and get that link. Also, make sure you just missed it. It's going to be replayed Thursday. But each and every Sunday, 8 p.m. out west, 11 p.m. here in the east. Soulful Sundays. DJ CG. You can check him out on TikTok. _DJ_CG. All right. He's got some mixes up there, but he is part of the Heat 100 family. Great mixes to wind you down, take you back, get you in your groove, get you in a nice mood on Sunday evening since it's summertime. Again, Sundays, 8 p.m. out west, 11 p.m. start time in the east. DJ CG, Soulful Sundays. And then look out for Simply Monica in the Morning Rush, in the morning show, to be back soon. And make sure you always tune in to me because I'm your guy. All right. Love y'all. Talk to y'all soon. Everybody get home safe. Peace.